Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Joe, I appreciate the kind words when I was singing that song off air, but I could not have been a singer. Like, I know I sound great when I, belt out the odd song, but I think the turning point where I realized I'm not going to be a professional singer happened in, I want to say, grade 4.
Ooh.
Harold Hatcher Elementary, when Mrs. Osman, the music teacher who had been there, to me, I think teachers always felt a lot older when you were little, but it felt like she was 80 when I was in grade 4, and it felt like she'd been there for 80 years. So when she approached me and said, "Can I speak to you, Phil?" And I said, "Sure, Mrs. Osman." And this was in the middle of choir, before choir because there was choir that you could join that was outside of your normal music class.
Yes.
Like a after school kind of thing.
It wasn't after school, but it was so you could be a part of the Christmas concert kind of thing. And so she said, "Can I speak to you?" And she said, "Do you even really do you like music?" And I said, "Not really, Mrs. Osman. I'm here because my parents would like me to do it."
Yep.
And she said, "What if I found something else for you to do while the rest of the students were doing choir?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, what about floor hockey or something?" And I said, "Yes.
Oh,
Get me
wow.
the hell out of choir."
Wow.
So me and there was a bunch of other kids that didn't weren't really suited because I'm tone deaf. I really believe that I am. And I wasn't big. I'm not musically inclined, so it was never a thing of mine. So, Mrs. Osman, thank you for letting me play floor hockey during choir.
I'm going to go on record right now and say that Mrs. Osman did you a favor because the other option was you could have played a tree in that Christmas concert and your acting career could have blossomed. But
yes.
it went the other way, and look how involved you are with hockey now in Transcona.
She shaped
Coaching
me.
before, admin stuff. Yeah.
She shaped me. Yeah.
I mean, you just paved the way for people like me to have an opportunity to have a part in the Christmas play.
I think you were getting that opportunity regardless. No one was holding back Shalinda Kirby. Mrs.
Even to
Osman.
today.
Yeah,
even
no.
to today. And I'm going to say this right now. We went from this guy right here to floor hockey to you going to Canada's Got Talent or whatever the hell, Canadian Idol, whatever the show was. But you traveled.
Those are two different shows.
Well, yeah, but you went to Canadian Idol. I couldn't remember which
back
one.
in the day.
What's
Yeah.
the difference? It's just the story. You never made it to the golden ticket or whatever they hand
I
out.
didn't make it very far at all. It was
No,
an attempt.
but listen, just to go and try, that takes a lot of guts.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
No matter
Good for
what
you,
age.
Curbs.
Well, I mean, my singing career didn't work out either, Phil, so don't feel bad.
No, but you still try.
Yeah.
You'll belt out a tune every once in a while. I just sing to myself because I know I'm not a good singer. I think I'm better in the vehicle. I'm better while the song is playing. You know that guy?
Yeah.
I sing when the song is on, and I get the lyrics wrong all the time. But I can't sing without the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me neither. I don't.
Joe sings all the time.
All the time. But
In
I
the
don't
studio.
sing. I do ta-ta-ta-ta. I
Yeah,
just do.
ta, ti, ti, ta. That's like the first thing you learn
Yeah.
in music.
In school.
Ta,
Yeah,
ti, ti,
well,
ta.
I've gone full circle. Mrs. Osman, I'm around.
You could have used it.
Ta-ta-ta-ta.
Philly Joe Kirby
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast. Got something to say?
Okay, I'll say it.
Well, you should probably call the bone phone and let her rip.
It actually feels nice to finally say it out loud.
780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
To counter all of the negativity and bitching that goes on a regular basis, we should have something like Thankful Thursdays. I'll start. This past weekend, my mother-in-law turned 85. She's been in a home for a number of years battling dementia. She took a spill this weekend, cracked her head on the floor, and had to go in for stitches. And I'm thankful that the staff found her shortly after it happened instead of letting her lay there for hours. They quickly got her into a hospital, called us, and everything got taken care of, and she's doing quite well now. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the staff at that home. They're fantastic people.
Very nice, Professor. Thank you very much. Thankful Thursdays. Good idea.
Glad she's okay.
Yeah, and nice kudos to part of our healthcare system. Those people do wonderful work and taxed more than anybody else, probably.
Sure do. Yeah, definitely, Joe. Okay, Dennis the Menace, frequent caller on the program, has a few things on his mind.
Good morning, PJK. Got a couple things today. Like to throw a shout out to the crew that did all the work on the Osborne Bridge, 2 years in running, but it's done. Looks fantastic. Couple little spots to clean up, but it looks great. Now for the negative side, anybody and everybody who drives, use your bloody turn signal, please. Okay, got that out. Next one. For the winner at Home Depot in the Dodge Ram that can't figure out how to park in one stall and uses,
Winner.
2.5 stalls. You win the Darwin Award for biggest idiot in Home Depot. Congratulations. And how about those Jets steamrolling the Rangers? Woo! Yeah. Go Jets, let's go Big Blue. Great Cup, here we come.
I love the term winner for the winner.
What a winner.
Yeah. So good they named a store after it.
Yeah. Oh, man,
I really do, though, hate when you're behind somebody and there is multiple exits or areas for them to be turning into, and all they do is slow down. They don't indicate if they're turning, but they slow down. So you're like, oh God, they're going to turn, but you're just not sure where.
Right.
And you're stuck behind them. And you're like, oh, of course you're turning, but God forbid you use that signal light of yours.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, you've been mad about this one all morning.
Well, I got triggered by this call.
You did. I know.
Yes, you did.
Bright and early at 6:20.
There's nothing that annoys me more than somebody's slow in front of me, and I know that they're about to turn, but they don't use their signal light.
You know, I'm going to do it on purpose one day. But you'd recognize my truck. But I would love
I'm
to
going to
do it on
plow into
purpose.
the back of it. Just
Kirby! Road rage.
It's not usual like Kirby to get triggered.
I know, but I just don't know what it is about that specific act in traffic that just drives me nuts.
You know what else triggered her? Who the hell is that yesterday? A contestant named Sadie. Because apparently Kirby had a dog named Sadie that died. But how did Sadie die? Just old age?
She just got too old. We had to put
Okay,
her
good.
down,
Because it would have made the story even more harsh if Sadie got hit by a car or something.
Yeah, traumatic. No, she had a great life.
Anyway, apparently a lot of people had a dog named Sadie.
All right, spot on. I got a dead dog named Sadie too. So she was a golden retriever. That was the one that I moved down to Mexico, got a pet passport for, and okay. TMI! Dead dog Sadies. I bet you there's a million of them in North America.
I'm
sorry, Sadie.
That's guilty. And I'm guessing his Sadie went deaf years ago.
Sadie! Just yelling all the time.
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine?
Kirby's biggest fan. Been a while. Checking in here.
Yeah. So I thought I'd leave a message since I've been trying to get through the last couple of weeks.
Oh, Kirby.
Say hi to Kirby. But anyway.
Answer the phone.
Just take care and play some AC/DC. And let me know if you want any tattoo magazines.
Kirby.
Downsizing.
Okay.
Okie doke.
He'll get you some of those if you want. Old tattoo magazines.
You are upsizing. It's just by coincidence. Old Eddie's downsizing. And you were just talking about getting a stack of old tattoo magazines because you're getting some more artwork done.
Yeah, I
Wouldn't
would
it be nice to have a box?
have a box of old
Sure you would.
magazines to flip through. I mean, honestly, though, it's a cool thing to collect. I do think that it's very cool that Eddie
collects
used
magazines.
to be a huge fan of the ink back in the day.
You know for sure he'd look after that kind of collection.
I know for sure he'd look after me as well. So.
That guy would treat you like a princess. The princess you deserve, Kirby.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. He's a man that uses his turn signals.
I don't think he has a license anymore.
He said once
He told me he takes the bus to the
Oh,
Legion.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Well, the Legion's good.
He'd take you there every Friday.
Yeah, he does
would
go for a
make
beer
you
there.
dinner.
Yeah.
He would-
know.
This
Okay.
guy.
TV dinners together.
I hate to throw this out there, but Legions are known for their meat draw. Now, that's not really your thing, but you could support the Legion and pick up the magazines at the same time on a Saturday afternoon. Or go chase the ace.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Boston Pizza text line getting some reaction to Motorhead guy on the bone phone looking for work. And people are now asking questions. This is the community, the 92-1 city PJK community. Got a hot dog guy. We're always hiring. We got another guy. Well, it could be a girl. I don't know. Does he have air brake endorsement? See, that we don't know. I think if I had to, would you guys agree? If I had to speculate, I bet you Motorhead guy has air brake endorsement.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so.
Air brakes are loud, and he's loud, so I would assume so.
Well, he's mentioned driving big trucks before, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
So I bet you he has.
If he has his Class 3, yeah. He's been driving bigger units for sure.
Got this one. My bro is hiring loader operators for snow removal right now. Again, I don't want to speak for Motorhead guy, but I could see him doing that job for sure.
Yeah. He lives outside the city.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Those are little details we need to know. Is he willing to drive in the city for a lot of these jobs too, right?
He's going to have to call back. You're going to have to do like a verbal resume and maybe even a cover letter on the bone phone. Motorhead
Got to
guy.
include the cover letter. That's cute.
And we're going to need a number to get a hold of him back because if he's interested in, well, wait a second.
I have it. Because he calls the bone phone.
I was just about to say, yeah.
So we have the number, but we will need more info in the form of a verbal resume from Motorhead guy. And he'll yell his resume, so that'll be good. And maybe, Joe, you could help him with a LinkedIn account.
It's pretty simple. If I can figure it out, believe me, anybody can. I'll tell you what, if he wants contact in Alberta for an oil rig job, I'm his guy.
Are you willing to relocate?
Yeah, that's the first question. That's been my drawback from working the rigs is I wasn't willing to move.
Joe on the rigs.
Oh,
Could you imagine?
God.
That would be the best.
How about Motorhead guy? He'd be perfect for a rig job.
I think
you could
so.
hear him while the machine's still going and everything.
All things we need to know. Call back, Motorhead guy, and let us know.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast. Philly Joe and Kirby's
Throwdown Thursday.
This is the first time for Throwdown Thursday that I think that we've had an actual fight that's happening versus a hypothetical fight.
Yeah.
I just found the tail of the tape. If you want to hear this before you guys weigh in.
Give her. Yeah, absolutely.
You're talking about the problem child versus Iron Mike. Mike Tyson taking on Jake Paul tomorrow night live on Netflix. Their first live event, I believe, in the sporting capacity.
It's awesome that it's on Netflix.
So you've got a 57-year-old against a 27-year-old, so 30-year difference. 58 fights compared to 10. 50 wins, 6 losses, 2 no contests, up against 9-1-0, 44 knockouts to 6. And there's a height differential here. Jake Paul is 2 inches taller, 6'1" over 5'10", or I guess that's 3 inches. The weight, 150, I think 157 or something. That's wrong. That's these weights aren't in pounds. Sorry, so I can't give you those. But either way, a lot of people are talking about this. Even non-boxing purists are talking about this and what kind of spectacle it's going to be.
AT&T Stadium. Like, how about that venue?
Yeah.
It's going to be packed. My kids are all over this. They
Your
can't
kids
wait.
are?
They were pissed off when it got canceled in the summer because Tyson had that ulcer flare-up. And, they're jacked. They want to – I mean, it's you got your famous – one of the world's most famous YouTubers in Jake Paul, right, against a legendary boxer. Mm-hmm. The age scares me for Tyson, 58 years old. I mean, I think that's the big concern for those of us who want to see Tyson, knock Paul's head into the 5th row.
There's a lot of people that want to see that, and that's why it's going to be so good on free TV here on Netflix. Well, as long as you have Netflix, it's not free. I guess you paid for it every month. That's so right. You're going to take who, Phil?
Oh, I hate to do this, but my theory is Jake Paul absolutely does not take fights that he isn't convinced he can win. I mean, that's his MO, right? Pretty much. So he's fighting a 58-year-old. That's why he's the age. He would never fight anybody, in their prime that could injure him and hurt his image. So I just think the fact that Tyson's 58 years old is just going to be too much. I could see Paul running from him for a few rounds until Tyson slows down. I'm going with Jake Paul, and I hate to say it, but that's the way I see it happening.
Let's go to the fight, Dr. Shalinda Kirby.
Yeah, you know me, just big on the fights. No, I just don't like Jake Paul as a human being. I just think he's very problematic, very toxic.
He's called the problem child for a reason.
Yeah, the arrogance for me, it's just, oh my gosh, I would love to see somebody punch him out. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Mike Tyson on this one. Plus, the guy bit off someone's ear back in the day. So,
Yes,
I mean,
he did.
he's still got cred.
He's
and he's in the Hangover movie, and that's such a prolific scene.
It's funny how Mike Tyson was such a big deal as far as boxing goes, and then he had some rough spots in his life, and spent some time in prison, and was not a well-liked individual for a while, and turned it around with his one-man show, and then the Hangover movies, and became a mainstream guy again. But I'll tell you what, this is the way I see it, and it may be just because of the wrestling background, but I believe the whole thing's rigged anyway, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe Jake Paul wins by decision. I see Mike Tyson looking good in the fight because I think, like I said, it's rigged. But Jake Paul gets the win because you're right. I think he just sets himself up for this. But you're not going to find a bigger former boxing name to fight at this level than Mike Tyson. You have one shot at it, and they are going to make a lot of money, both of them, because of the Netflix deal. It'll be worth watching, but everybody, all the boxing experts say that at 58 now, Tyson, who looks good in sparring and everything else, won't be able to get off as fast as he would have years ago in that. And
that's going to be the key. And
I know what he feels like at that age, and he's in a lot better shape than I am.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
You threw my routine off this morning, Joe. I pulling into the parking lot about 4:45, 4:40. I can't remember exactly when it was. And
4:44, Phil.
4:44, and into the parking lot comes a BMW SUV, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell is this? It was only about 15 minutes difference from when Joe usually gets in, but still, routines are routines. And I'm like, Aiello, what gives? You can't sleep, or you couldn't sleep, or what?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Is that
exactly what happened. And I'll tell you, man, we were coming into the parking lot at the same time, and I just flashed my high beams right in Phil's eyes, and I said, not this time. No. Because we both back up when we park, right? So
we raced.
Yeah, but hey, out of respect to you, because you're here before I am, what did I do?
You let me back in first.
I did.
Let me pick a spot first.
Just
Let him pick his spot.
men backing into their parking spots.
Yep.
I think you're missing the point. Out of respect, because the man gets here before I do.
Yeah.
I let him through.
Is this a way to harken back to when Kirby took your spot back in the day, Joe?
Well,
You remember that? That was a famous incident.
It does come up in my in my memories every once in a while where, Kirby decided to park
Come
her
up in
car
my memories.
after 4 years. After 4 years of me parking in the exact same spot every day, Kirby taking that spot one day.
You know, that's probably why you couldn't sleep, because all those memories just pop up.
Yeah.
When you least expect them.
You just can't sleep, and all you do, remember that time Kirby parked in my spot.
Well, to be honest, I got a little bit more going on in my life than thoughts of you coming up in my head in the middle of the night. But
It does bring up an interesting point, Kirby. How are you adjusting to no office, no parking spot? Because for the longest time at the old building, we're in a new building now here on Scurfield, no longer in Osborne Village, and you had, well documented, Kirby's parking spot, like unofficial. You just laid claim to it and nobody else could touch it. And then you also had an office.
with a fridge.
A fridge. And you love to throw it out there. Oh, it's in my office.
It was
My
almost
bed's in my
like a
office.
side-by-side, though, if you were looking at a dwelling, like, because Big Daddy Kane had the other side of the side-by-side. You guys shared a fridge.
Yeah. You know, I feel like I'm living on the lamb these days. Just
No
Like
fixed
running from the
address.
law?
no fixed
From parts
The
unknown.
fugitive.
No office anymore.
I have nowhere to really. I can park wherever. I can,
I still think that would have been a great wrestling name right there. Somebody under a mask from parts unknown, the fugitive.
We never know. We'll never know what he looks like because he's running from the law.
That's it.
All right. Well, it's good to hear, Kirby, that you
making do.
that you're coping. You're coping with the new surroundings.
Yeah.
Still not over the fact that you and I back into our parking spots.
Yeah,
because she could.
Why don't you? Why don't we all come in together and all back in together? It'd
Like
be
I
nice.
said before, it's a flex, and I just feel like I don't need to establish my dominance next to you two that do that already.
I don't think it has anything to do with dominance. I think it's your lack of driving skill.
That's PJK Extra.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
The kids aren't all right at 7:37. I sounded old. It's the title of the song, but
Those
you
damn
sound
kids,
old. You
they're
sound
not
old. Teenage. All that's missing from that is teenagers. Damn teenagers.
They're not all right.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of which, Kirby, off air, bringing up a story about attention spans. And do you go to your phone while you're watching a TV show or a movie? Very interesting, because I think, like, I will have it there with me if I'm watching a show. Mm-hmm. But I'm not like playing around on it. If I'm into a show, if it buzzes, I'll go to it. But I don't think what you're saying is uncommon, where people will be watching something on TV and then get distracted by their phone and start going through reels or something.
Yeah, like the average person does it at least 6 times during a TV show. Like checks their phone.
Like, I guess if it's a half-hour show, there's no way for me. I usually will wait till the commercial breaks, right? Unless I've recorded it or watching it, then maybe once or twice. If I'm invested in a show, though, movies, I won't check my phone. Weird.
Really?
That I think about that. Yeah.
Even if it's buzzing at you?
Yeah. Usually. Well, I might maybe if it's buzzing. But
You don't go a whole movie without a phone call.
No,
Do you
I'm
think
doing-
we just met you today?
No, it's true.
He gets phone calls in the middle of the show.
You would pause the show.
No, but I'll tell you right now, it's funny. I probably check my phone more during a TV show, sporting event for sure, but than I would during a movie. Now that I think about it, I think sometimes I just shut it down.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. But movies I get more invested in than, let's say, a TV show.
That's why I like the theater for the sake of a movie. Like if I really want to see a movie, I'll go see it in theater, because then you're have
not
no
allowed.
choice but to put the phone away because you don't want to be called a Tommy Texter. So,
Tommy
But 6 times during a show, that's a lot.
Get this, though. People were also asked how long they can watch something before they get bored and then want to multitask, like look at their phone and stuff, right? So for movies, it's around 16 minutes.
Oh, boy.
And for a TV show, it's just 14 minutes.
Do you know, it's funny you bring this up, because I will catch myself guilty as charged, self-awareness during a Jets game, or like if I'm watching a sporting event, a football game. Not so much if it's one of my like teams that I'm insane about, but if it's just a casual football game like tonight, Thursday nighter, I want to watch that game. I'll be watching it, and then I'll catch myself blasting through some reels.
I'll
And you know
do
that rabbit hole, and then I'm like,
yes, that's
I'll
the
literally
whole point of this.
say to myself, what are you doing? There's a live...
You're consuming like
put this
double the
down.
content. Imagine what that does to your brain. Like you're looking at your phone, consuming content, but you're also watching something and consuming that content.
So are you saying, sorry, Joe, I know you want to jump. Are you saying that's unhealthy? Do experts say you shouldn't be doing that?
Well, that's the whole thing, is we've now hit a point where they're saying that we are staring at a screen while also staring at a different screen, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Sports is a whole different entity, though, because I gamble on sports. So there's a lot of times I'm looking into what I'm watching, if that makes any sense.
Sports is, I understand, because
So
there's
I
like the
consider that-
live aspect of it, and you want to be in on the conversation.
Or you're watching a different game on a different screen. That's why I consider it a different category for me anyway than TV shows or movies.
Or if Elizabeth Hurley has had a photo shoot and it's on Instagram.
By the way, Liz as we like to call her.
Yeah, you guys are on that basis.
She's promoting her new movie. It's coming out, and she is excited about it.
She's got a movie?
She's got a movie coming out, not a Christmas movie either. And she's very happy with who put it together. I don't know why.
You guys keep up on Elizabeth Hurley. Like,
she's a great actress.
To me, the woman means absolutely nothing. Like, I honestly haven't thought about her since her appearance in Austin Powers.
Right there.
Listen.
But, like, wow. I hear about her bathing suits, her son. I know so much about her because of you guys following her on Instagram.
I'm going to tell you something right now, Kirby. The new movie.
Please do, Joe.
What's it called?
The new movie. It's amazing how many Winnipeggers follow Elizabeth Hurley that I know because they like her pictures. Piper, A Haunting Tale. It's her new movie filmed in beautiful Latvia. I had a blast making this, a spooky retelling of the Pied Piper story. And as I personally have a pathological fear of rats, I was kept on my toes in this one. Huh.
Joe, you don't give two about the actual text of that post.
We're going to the theater.
No.
We're going to the
It's
theater.
even better. It says she has Prime Video and Apple TV both hooked in here.
What's the picture she attached to the post? Because that's
No, it's the movie picture.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm dead
Is
serious.
she in a bikini? Oh,
no, that's
okay.
the one that came after.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
10 minutes away from the bone phone, actually less than 10. About less than 20 minutes away from your next chance to play Who the Hell Is That?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the clue right now, if you don't mind. This person has won a number of awards. That's the clue going into the 8:30 play.
Okay, $10,000
Like it.
up for grabs on the 92.1 City Facebook page. You may have heard Facebook's getting big. Like if you're not on it, there's lots going on there. You might want to learn how to use it.
We're helping make it big.
You sound so old.
It's getting big, Facebook. Come on.
Oh, man.
Throwdown Thursday. Tyson versus Jake Paul. Who you got? So we're getting a smattering of Tyson's going to kill him, and then you're getting the opinion, we'd love Tyson to do it, but
Yes.
he's a bit old. You're getting, it's a fix.
Yep.
Who cares? Hey,
Oh, you getting a who cares? That's fine, too.
whatever opinion.
That's a vote.
You're still entered, and it amazes me the amount of people who don't trust the legitimacy of this fight, but we'll
Yeah.
still watch it just because it's the circus. Can't
Well,
turn
that's
away.
the whole deal. Yeah, Netflix is banking on a lot of eyeballs on this, and it'll be amazing to track what those numbers are after the show and plus the replays of it on Netflix. So by Monday,
Yeah.
we should probably have a good number of how many people. Isn't it interesting, though? Because, yeah, even if people say it's fixed, they'll watch it knowing because of the spectacle. But there's a lot of, I hope, Mike Tyson kicks the living bejesus out
Yeah.
of Jake Paul. There's a lot of that.
Well, Jake Paul makes a living on people like he's
Yes.
he's an antagonist.
Yes.
He makes a living
He does
off.
it to himself.
His own brother hates him sometimes.
He does. He knows everybody hates his face. Everybody wants to punch his face
He
in.
gets off on it, though. That's
Well-
the thing, is like he likes that arrogance. Of
That's the whole secret of his success, correct, Kirby?
Yeah.
Yes,
That everybody
100%.
that everybody wants to
He pushes
beat him up.
boundaries. He likes to challenge people.
So-
Yeah.
But what frustrates a lot of like boxing purists is he labels himself, and he is a pretty good fighter. But like, for example, at the press conference yesterday, a reporter stood up and said, "Why don't you fight actual contenders that are your age, your weight class, like guys coming up like you are?"
Yep.
And basically, what's Jake Paul going to say? Get lost, loser, like something like that.
Yeah,
right?
but you know why? It's an easy answer. Because those guys aren't going to draw money. He's drawing money against these people. They're obviously put in a place. Mike Tyson, one of the biggest names of all time, right? The most dangerous man on the planet for many years. So it'll be interesting to see. But the weigh-in goes tonight, by the way, not that. So what you're going to see at the weigh-in is you're going to see a lot more chirping and probably face-to-face, forehead
Yeah.
to forehead, just to hype it up even more tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But Tyson at 58, I think he is, looks really good, like in
yeah.
great shape.
The training sessions and
Yeah.
everything else. By the way, tons of people have also been asking when that new Elizabeth Hurley movie comes out, because Joe and I were talking about it. The buzz. Like, you want to talk about buzz. There's buzz
Yeah.
about the Tyson
Yeah, she's an influencer too.
Paul fight. But the
she
buzz.
influences the both of you a lot, doesn't she?
Oh, but well, we're not alone. Since we mentioned it about a half an hour ago, people are like, when does that movie come out? When can I see it?
Yeah.
Where are you seeing these
It's-
people asking?
It's called Piper, and it's on digital platforms November 18th.
I don't
very
think we've
chilling.
gotten one text asking about
You're not
the movie.
looking.
Oh, there's a lot. You're
I'm
not looking
just-
in the right
I'm
place.
trying to look.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Up for grabs this morning. We've got tickets to go see Jim Jeffries and Jimmy Carr, Canada Life Center. Joe's got the question. 780 City.
2/3 of people say this is an unacceptable. This is unacceptable during a virtual work meeting. They still happen. 2/3 of people say this is unacceptable during a virtual work meeting. We actually have one today.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah. Super pumped.
Phil,
I couldn't even say it. I couldn't even let that sit
it
for
is the
10
most
seconds.
non-convincing thing that's come out of your mouth.
It's going to be camera off one of those days.
You know what? Technology sometimes has bit us in the ass. Virtual meetings. Some people used to say, "Oh, they saved us. We don't have to go in the office." Well, now you have to go to more of them.
That's
for some
right,
people.
because
This
you
wouldn't
can-
have happened nationally
You can host it.
before, or at least it'd be on a phone. You'd have the speaker phone on.
What happened?
And have people around. 2/3 of people say this is unacceptable during a virtual work meeting.
780 City, good morning.
Morning. Let's take Kirby.
Kirby.
Not wearing pants.
No, that's no longer. I know that was something that kind of went viral for a bit, but no, that's
Okay.
no one's not wearing pants, right? Like come on, that was a social media thing.
It's not acceptable though. Like if
No,
you're at a work
it's not,
meeting.
but it's not in the list here.
Okay, thank you, but don't handle my answers.
Okay, jeez.
Well,
go get
well,
him,
it's
Curtis.
not in
Go
the
get
top
him. Go
5.
get him.
I don't know what else I was supposed to do for that answer, but
Hi, City.
Hey, is it wearing sunglasses?
wearing sunglasses is number 3. Could you imagine
That is so weird.
looking like you're hungover, or
Unless
you're looking like
outside.
who's the dude that died in Bill and Ted's Adventure? Like, yeah, they put the sunglasses on him.
Yeah, unless you're Bono, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, true enough.
780 City, 780 2484. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, you started to go there and then you broke up a little bit. So let's try again. Go ahead.
Okay, is it being interrupted by your kids?
That is number 5. Kids are pets interrupting the meeting.
Pets.
I do like when people's pets make like a surprise.
Yeah, that's cute
on
for
the
half
camera.
a second, and then when you realize the
distracting.
next 12 minutes or 12 minutes you're not getting back because the meeting continues.
Oh, God.
And I have a dog, and he's shown up in a couple of meetings before, but yeah, it's not good.
He shows
Unacceptable.
up later today. It's friends off, Joe. No dog. Hi, City.
Yeah, how about wearing a hat?
No, nothing to do with. This has nothing to do with clothing outside of the wearing sunglasses being number 3.
780 City, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Is it eating?
Eating something on camera is number 3.
Oh,
or sorry, 4. Sorry, I
Oh.
gave you 3 already.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Eating.
Just going to town on a burger. It's just dripping down your face.
Like, shut the camera off then, right? Hi, City.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Is it watching TV, not even paying attention?
No, it's not that. That's good, though. That's a good one. That might happen today at ours.
Well, I will be, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have it on mute at least. Good morning, City.
Morning. Kirby, can you help me out, please?
I'll try. Well, you just said it, Phil, like leaving yourself, like your audio on.
Yeah.
Shalinda Kirby.
Yeah!
Phil slipped right into it. Yeah. Keeping your mic on
it's
is
annoying.
still the most unacceptable thing you could do during a virtual work meeting. Keeping your camera off was still on the list, too. Eating something on camera while the camera's on is always a beauty. While the guy's got like making a protein shake while the meeting's going on. But yeah.
There's someone in every virtual meeting I've ever been in that the
Every
rest
time.
of the meeting has to say, Larry,
There's sounds coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's arguing with his wife
We
in the
can hear your
background.
dogs barking.
Yes. Woo, woo. Who is this?
Big Al.
Big Al.
Big Daddy Al or just Big Al?
No, just Big Al.
Okay.
Because, these guys keep trying with the Big Daddy thing with Adam Kane, and I just want to make sure
We're not
that,
trying.
We did
It
it.
just happened.
But Al, if
It's organic.
someone at work started calling you Big Daddy Al instead of Big Al, how would you take that?
I take it and run with it.
Okay.
But Big Al's a thing. Big Al's already a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I add Daddy to
Big
Big Al.
Daddy Al.
I like Big Al.
Big Daddy.
How does not anybody like a guy named Big Al? There's
no, right.
No one hates a guy named Big
But
Al.
we're going to the big, because we threw Big Daddy
But
Kane.
Big Daddy
The
Kane.
daddy reference
No,
that I think is...
I get it. I get
okay.
that.
All right.
But I'm just
All
saying,
right.
when your name is Big Al already, you don't need the daddy. It
Yeah.
wasn't Big Kane.
But he would have gone with it.
I know he would have, but I'm just saying nobody hates a guy named Big Al the way it is.
Right.
Just getting defensive, okay?
Not really.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.